Recording started. Now let's start the session. So now let me log in into the account first. So let me select this one. AWS. Select the website. Now sign into the console. Right. Now it will ask you for the mail ID and the password. MFA code. I'm going to give the MFA code 443. Oh, sorry, not 443. 873 614. Right. I have successfully logged into the console, AWS console. Right. Now let's understand what is this. This is not the Snowflake, right? What about this application load balancer? Right. What is application load balancer? Now let's try to understand about this one. Now read this one once. An application load balancer is a service provided by the AWS. It is a service actually provided by the AWS. What it will do? It will distribute the incoming application traffic across multiple target instances. Multiple targets are nothing but the instances, okay, such as EC2 instances in one or more availability zones. So you can deploy your instances in different availability zones. It operates at the application layer. So actually in the networking we have layers, right? If you know about the OSI model, there we have 7 layers. So what is the first 7th layer here? So layer starts with the application layer. And the presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer. Now it's also called as internet layer. This network layer is also called as internet layer. After that, the data link layer will be there, and after that the physical layer. Now this application layer will work on at this layer. Okay, application load balancer comes under this application. It works on this layer, right? So that's what it was written here, making it highly flexible and efficient for routing request based on the content of the request. What does this mean? Now let me give you some pictorial representation related to this. Now assume that I have created 2 instances for this application layer. Instances are nothing but the servers. So this is my first instance, -1. Let's name them. And this is the second instance, -2. And now in front of these instances we have a load balancer, nothing but the application load. That is nothing but the ALB. That is nothing but the ALB. Okay, so it will also distribute the traffic, but what it will do? It will work based on the path. Okay, now we are going to do path based routing. It means that, what do you mean by path based routing? Now see here. Now if I go to Google, now if I type here, let me close this. Let me go here itself. Now in the Google, if I type here Now I am in Google, right? So if I go to URL, just I will type here Google. Now where I am getting redirected to Google, right? So now if I say here after this .com, if I say here drive, if I say here drive, then it will get redirected to where? Google Drive. Instead of drive, if I say here photos, now where it is getting redirected to photos. Okay, the photos homepage is getting opened. Okay, in the about us, right? So this is nothing but the based on the path, the traffic will get redirected. The traffic will get redirected. Okay, this application load balancer can be also used as a microservice, right? So right. So what does this mean? Let me write down here. So what the application load balancer will do? How it works? So application load balancer nothing but the ALB will distribute the traffic based on the content requested by the end user. It will do what it will do, this application load balancer, it will do path based routing. So same like I have shown you, if I mention slash drive means it got redirected to drive. It means that if I mention here www.google.com/drive means to the drive website it is going, right? To drive folder it will go. That path will go to drive folder. Or in case if I mention here photos, instead of drive, if I mention here photos, then Google Photos will open. So based on the path, okay, based on the path, the traffic is getting redirected. The traffic is getting redirected. Okay, so that's the reason we are calling it as path based routing. Okay, so this ALB can be useful to for the path based routing. Now let's implement this one practically. First thing what we need to do, see, content based routing. Okay, content ALB allows routing traffic to different targets based on the request by the end users. Okay, and support to multiple protocols. It will work on HTTP, HTTPS, WebSocket protocols, etc. And target groups also there. We can what do you mean by target groups? We need to create a target group for this. So we need to tell this load balancer what is the target of the. So we need to assign this as target. These instances we need to assign as a target to the ALB. For that purpose, we need to create a target groups. Okay, the sticky sessions are there. Provider sessions persistence based on the client cookies, and security integration works here like ACM, and scalability will be there automatically. In the auto scaling, you will learn what is this scalability. The ALBs are ideal for microservices architecture, as I told you before, container based applications and scenarios where advanced routing capabilities are required. They also provide detailed monitoring logging through CloudWatch and Access. Right, what is the step one here? Step by step instructions I have given in this PDF. First of all, create a Windows EC2 machine. Launch first EC2 instance and click on launch instance, log into the console and click on launch instance. Select the AMI which you want to choose, and after that the instance type you need to choose, and after that configure instance settings are needed. Okay, just a second. Including selecting the appropriate VPC, or we can use the default VPC, no issue with that. Already AWS is providing the default VPC. Testing purpose we can go, but with more security we need to create our own VPC, and we can use that VPC also, right? And subnet. In security groups, ensure that we need to enable this port, that is nothing but the HTTP, because the application related, right? So that's the reason we need to enable this port as HTTP and income for the incoming traffic, and launch the instance. Make sure download the key pair. Okay, to log in into the server we require a key pair, then only we can log in into the machine. So connect to EC2 instance, and after that what we need to do, using RDP by we can access the server, and after that we need to navigate to this directory, nothing but the folder, and we need to create one file here, index.html, with sample content such as welcome to server 1. And after that I will create one more folder within the www root directory, one more folder I will create. Inside this folder also one more file I will create, that is nothing but now like this I will do. What I will do, first of all I will go to a location called inetpub folder. Inside this folder there is one more folder called www root. Inside this, first of all what I will do, I will create one file called with the name index.html, and after that I will create one folder, and inside this folder also I will create one file, again index.html I will name. But here what I will do, this content I will change. Okay, the content I will change. Okay, so let's perform this step. So let's go to the AWS account first. Let's go to the AWS account. Here we find an option called EC2. Select EC2. Select EC2. Click on launch. So instance name I am giving it as Windows ALB-1, and select your AMI here. I am choosing Windows. Scroll down, instance type, key pair I am creating. Click on create key pair, and the network settings, security group name I am giving, description, and after that we are enabling one port, that is nothing but the HTTP. Source type should be anywhere. Now click on launch instance. In the same way I will create one more instance. Click on launch instance again. For this example I am going with two instances, Windows ALB-2. Select the Windows, key pair, create key pair, operating system Windows. Okay, network settings, click on edit, security group name, description, adding one more port, HTTP, anywhere. Now click on launch. This is the second machine which I have created. Scroll down, view all instances, first machine and the second machine. Now let's log in into the first machine. Click on connect. Go to RDP section and click on download remote desktop file, get password. Okay, it's Windows now, that's the reason it is showing like that. Again click on get password, upload private key file, select the PEM file, and now decrypt the password. Copy the password and open the RDP file now which you have downloaded, and click on connect. Now enter the password. Click on OK. Yes. In the same way, let me put these details in the notepad also for the future reference. The username for Windows is, by default it will be as administrator. Okay, already notepad is there, right? Windows username will be always administrator, and the password only it will change. By default the username is administrator. And what is the password that we have decrypted here? You can see here, copy the password and go back to the notepad, and I'm pasting the password here. Okay, now the next step what we need to do, we need to install a web server in this first machine, and after that we will get the folders. So in Windows, which web server we use here? The web server name is IIS. The web server name is II, stands for Internet Information Service. Information Service. Okay. So we need to install this first. Then only after installing this web server, then only these folders will get created. Now let's go back to server. Now go to the start menu, and here I'm going to the server manager. So the dashboard is getting loaded now. Will take 1 or 2 minutes. In the meanwhile, let's log in into the second machine also. Let's go to the instance, second instance. Let's connect to the second instance. Click on connect. Go to RDP client. Download desktop file. Get password. Upload private key. Select the PEM file. And now decrypt the password. Now the username is same. The thing is here the password change. So this is for machine 1. Let me write down here. Machine 1 details. And now let's go with the machine 2. This is machine 2. And password will change here. Let me remove this one. Now go back to the console. Now I'm going to copy the password and I'm using this password to login purpose. Machine 2. Right. So these are machine 2 details. The machine 1. Right. So let's connect to the second machine as well in the meanwhile. So go to RDP. Okay. Now let's open the RDP file. Click on connect. It will ask you for the password. Give the password here. Press OK. Yes. Go back to the first machine. Now here click on add roles and features. Now this windows will pop up. Click on next. 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 Select the web server. Add roles and features. Click on next. 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 Now select the web server. Add features. Next. Next. No need to do any modifications here. Just click on next. If possible, check this box and click on yes and click on install. Now let's go to the second machine. Still it is getting loaded. In the meanwhile, the installation process will be done here. Let me minimize. Let's go with the second machine. The same steps, whatever the steps that we are performing in the first machine, the same steps we need to apply for the second machine also. Okay. Now let's go back to second machine. So once the installation of the web server completed means we will get one message here, installation succeeded. Then the two folders we can see, one is inetpub and another folder is www root folder. Now to log into the second machine. Him. Here we will get a message. So once we are done with this means next thing what we need to do, we will create folders and we will create some index files. The process is same. You can see here second instance same process to create and configure, and after that we need to set the target groups. So this ALB should know its targets. These are the targets which I am going to assign to this ALB. So we need to create the target group. Let me write here TG stands for target groups. Once the target groups created means next thing what we need to do, after that we can create the load balance. Okay, so let it get completed first. So you can see the message here, installation succeeded, and clicking on close. Now close the dashboard, server manager dashboard. Now go to the file explorer inside the server. Here you can see we need to go to the drive, C drive, this PC, C drive. Inside this one folder with the name called inetpub. Inside this www root. Now here I am removing these two default files. Now open the notepad. I'm going to write here some message. I'm opening H1 tag. Just I'm saying here, welcome to AWS training. Or else I will say here, welcome to Google Drive. Now let me save this as, let me do one thing. Let me put as welcome to AWS. Hmm? Or else let me say that welcome to Google and go to file and click on save as. We need to save this in inside the folder called www root. So go to this PC again, drive, inetpub, www root, and name it as index.html. Save as type should be all files. Click on save. Done. Now let's create one folder. The folder name I will give it as Google Drive. Now inside this folder I will create one more file, notepad. h1 tag, welcome to Google Drive, closing of the tag, go to file, save as inside the Google Drive. I'm naming it as again index dot, one more index.html I have created, all files, and click on save. Done. This is the first mission which I have done here. So in the first mission I have created one file first, and after that I have created one more folder. Inside this folder also one more index.html I have created. Now let's go with the second server. It will take some time to load the dashboard. Let me close this one. So let the dashboard get loaded. So in my previous video, I have shown this same concept with the Linux. Now we are going with the Windows actually. For the implementation, if you want to do in the Linux server means, please watch my Linux related video. I will first let me create one more instance. This, let me terminate this one. Let me click on launch instance again. Give the name here Windows CLB new -2. Here I am going to select Windows operating system and the key pair. Selecting the key pair, create key pair, network settings, click on edit, security group name, description, one more port I need to enable here, HTTP anywhere, and one more thing, let's choose another instance for better performance. Go with this small, not micro. Go with this small 2 GB memory I will get. Now click on launch. On all instances and once. So this is the newly created instance which you can see here. Now let's log in into the, click on connect to RTP client, download desktop file, get password for 4 minutes, then get password, upload private key, click on decrypt. This time the password I have changed for this second one, newly created machine. Okay, so here we need to change password which we have, copy the password to the notepad here. Now let me do login into the second machine. Open a second newly created RDP file, the password, click on OK, click on yes. It will be somewhat faster than the first. So see, it is getting loaded. Now the dashboard will get. This is comparatively previous one. Compared to previous one, this is somewhat better, right? Because the GB for the, we have taken there T2 micro, GB they are giving us only 1 GB memory. So obviously it will be very slow. Now it is, I have taken increased the one more extra GB, means 2 GB I have taken. Now T2 small I have chosen there for the second machine. Now the dashboard is getting loaded somewhat faster. Hope so. So I hope the dashboard got loaded, completed, loading completed. Server manager dashboard loading completed now. So me, right. Okay. Right, so let's go to the second server, second instance. Click on add roles and features here. Click on next. So here also click on next again. Next. Select the IAS as web server. Click on add features. Click on next. 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 Click on next. Enable this option. Click on yes. Click on install. Now the web server is installing in the second instance also. Right. Now the server installation is getting started. Web server installation. So once we are done with that, here also we will get two more folders like this www root and inetpub. Okay, right. Hope done with the hope the web server installation succeeded. Let's go to File Explorer now. In this, now go to this PC. Full disk C, inetpub. I'm deleting this default files. Now go to Notepad. Open Notepad. So I'm writing again here the message as I'm just taking here h1 tag. Welcome to Google, and again h1 tag close. Save this file as under the inetpub www. Name it as index.html. Save as type, select it to all files. One save. Now you can one more folder also we need to create. Go to new folder. I am naming it as Google Photo. Okay. In the machine 1, I have created a folder with the name Google Drive. Here I am naming the folder as, in the second machine I am naming this folder as Google Photos. Now go into this folder. Now open the notepad again. Again here one message I am passing, opening h1 tag. Welcome to Google Photo. Now if any user search for Google Drive, it will get the ALB. What it will do? It will get redirected to this first machine. If the user search for Google Photos, then it will get redirected to second machine. Go to file and click on save and save as under this Google Photos. Name it as index.html. Save as type all files. Click on save. Done. Done with the setting. Now next step, what we need to do? We need to create create target groups, right? So let's now create the target. So create the first target group, right? So let's go here, go to the console, go to instances. Now here you can see there is the option called target group. Click on target groups. Now for the target groups, we need to mention these two machines as our target. click on create, select instance, give some name for the first machine, give some name for the target group, target -1 I am giving. Scroll down. You can if you want, you can change the values in the advanced health checks. I'm not going to do any modifications here, and click on next. Adding my first instance, select include as pending below, and click on create target. In the same way, for the second mission also, I need to create one more target. So go to targets now, then go to target groups, create one more target group for the second instance. I am naming it as target -2. Scroll down, click on next. Now select the second mission, include as pending below, click on create target. For both the instances, I have created the target groups. Now next thing, we need to create ALB. That is what we are learning now. Application load balance. Now go to load balancer session in the EC2 dashboard and click on create load balance. And after that, select target as the first mission. Okay. Now click on load balancer, click on create load balancer, select the load balancer as application load. Now give some name here. I am giving as ALB load balancer. You can give whatever the name you want. Okay. Just I am giving the load balancer name as ALB load balancer. Now scroll down. I am going next. You need to select here minimum 2 availability zones. That's for mandatory. And I am selecting all the availability zones which are available within this region. Now here let me give like LB security group and forwarding the traffic to the first machine. Okay, if I try to add one more listener, I cannot add one more listener directly here. Click on add listener. See, if I select the port number 80 and if I forward the traffic to the second machine, if I try to click on create load balancer, it will show me the error because only one port we can enable for the one machine, right? So now I am going to remove this one. Now how to distribute the traffic, I will tell you. So in the listeners, only one port I am assigning to the first machine, and scroll down now, click on create load balance. Now it will be in the provisioning state. Now go to load balancers, scroll down. Now select the load balancer, go to listeners tab and click on add listener. Now here select the target as first instance only. Now go to load balancer. Here select the load balancer, first load balancer. Here this target one select and go to manage listener. Here you find a option called edit listener. Now if you come down here, now the traffic 100% of the traffic is going to the first machine only. Now we need to distribute the traffic among each servers equally. So click on add target group and add the target as, give the target as second machine. Now you can see here 50% traffic is getting distributed equally. Now click on save changes. Done with this. This is how you can configure the rules for the listeners. Edit rules. I have given the everything here. Now listener complete. I have created the listener now. So now next thing what we need to do, we need to set the rules. Okay, we need to set the rules. Right. Now let's go here and scroll down, select this option, click on add rule. Now I am naming it as rule number 1. As I told you, the application load balancer routes the traffic based on the path. Now in the condition, you need to select the path. Now it will ask you for the path. If I go to the first machine, I have named the folder as, see here, Google Drive, right? Under this Google Drive, I am giving here also Google Drive. under this Google Drive, whatever the objects that we have, all the data it will be taken. Click on confirm and click on next. Target group as first machine. Click on next and priority I am setting it to 1. Click on next. Click on create. Next again one more rule I will create. Click on add rule. This is rule number 2 I am giving here. Click on next. Add condition based on the path again. This time Google Photos, the folder which we have created in the second machine, and /star. It will take all the files which are available inside the folder. Now forward it to second machine. Click on next and priority I am setting it to 2. Click on next. Click on create. Done with the rules. Okay. So I am done with the configuring rules and listeners. Okay. Now ALB is listening to this. Listener will help you improving the connection between the this instances and the load balance. Okay. So next coming to the, now we need to test the load balancer. Now go to your console, go to load balancers, and here select the DNS name. Now I will go to any other new tab and I am going to press enter now. Let me check whether it is working or not first. You can see here, welcome to Google. Now if I say here /Google Photos, it get redirected. It needs to get redirected to second machine. Now see here, can you see the second machine, it is getting redirected. And if I say here instead of photos, if I say here Google Drive, now you can see here this is also we can able to see because it is getting redirected to first. This is how path based routing will happen, okay, in the real time. Okay, so this is right. Thank you all of you.